Good morning, everyone. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com with your morning market outlook for Friday, July 31st, 2026. It is a Friday and it is the month end, and month end usually has a bullish bias to it. Not every month, but we certainly anticipate a bullish bias going into month end. Stock index futures are higher this morning, being led higher once again by the NASDAQ. Commodities are mixed with gold down $50 while crude oil is trading higher in the pre-market. Now, yesterday was a big day for the market. SanDisk led the market higher, up nearly 26% on the day. Hard to really notice a big move like that, given the huge sell-off that we've seen over the past 6 weeks. The Nasdaq actually ended the day closing above the previous day's high, which is bullish. Still on a sell signal here coming into Friday's trading action. Now, last year at this time, the last day of the month, we made a new high for the Nasdaq, and we were on quite a tear from the April low. And then we ended the day down on the day, new high, and then closing lower on the day this time last year. Looking at the S&P 500, we did not close above the previous day's high. The Dow had an inside day yesterday, and the TSX did not close above the previous day's high yesterday. So a lot of focus on the tech sector in the NASDAQ. Now, on Fridays, I like to take a look at some weekly charts just to see how the week has progressed. We've got the bonds trading lower this week, bond yields continuing to trade higher. We've got the US dollar index still holding $100 by a tick. And so we're still on a buy signal here, trading down to the lower channel line yesterday. The euro was up yesterday, still on a sell signal coming into Friday's trading action. And then we've got the Canadian dollar basically unchanged on the week. Now, we have had crude oil pull back a little over 4% on the week. It's trading higher this morning. Gold is having an inside week so far, up $29. We're losing that on Friday morning. The TSX is up 0.39% on the week. We've got the S&P 500 up 0.35%. The NASDAQ is just slightly below unchanged, and of course that is changing in the pre-market this morning, while semiconductors have been down 4.36% even after that big update yesterday. Looking at the Bitcoin, Bitcoin is up just under 1% on the week, so no major move for Bitcoin this week. Looking at the VIX for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell all traded down to the lower channel line yesterday, so we could end Friday on daily sell signals. Almost done. Some of the highlights from yesterday, the big winner was actually the memory sector, followed by semiconductors. On the Dow, it was Microsoft was the big winner. It ran up and filled the open gap from coming down from the high in May. And I probably guess we're not going to be able to get too much further than here. And you can see the next mathematical target is $468.75. Nebius was the big winner on the NASDAQ yesterday. No change in trend. On the S&P 500, a bunch of chip stocks were up there, including Micron. Again, no change in trend coming into Friday's trading action. On the TSX 60, it was tech was the big winner. On the TSX Composite, it was Bosch, and Bosch's stock has done this several times in the past. I don't know if there's going to be any fall through to the upside. I certainly wouldn't chase that on Friday. Then the big loser on the TSX 60 was Thomson Reuters. Lightspeed doing a complete reversal, running up to previous resistance and then quickly reversing. Then on the Dow, the big loser was on the NASDAQ 100. It was Meta. And there are probably some people shorting Meta right now, which is not something I would do. It's extremely oversold. Of course, you wanted to sell it off the top of the panic zones as it started to come down, not yesterday. Fair Isaac was the big loser on the S&P 500. Now, yesterday, I pointed out that Apple put in a bearish reversal day. And of course, what you look for next is, do we get fall through to the downside? And for Apple, even though yesterday was a big up day for tech stocks, Apple moved down. There's a pretty good chance we've put in a top for Apple. We still don't have a sell signal yet, so there's no reason to liquidate the rest of your Apple position on Friday morning. Now, I mentioned yesterday that Tesla had broken the $300 level. Yesterday, we traded above it the whole day, and the low of the day was $301.33. There is a possibility that traders are going to try to hold $300 as support, and we may be putting in a bottom here. Of course, we need to see some upward momentum for that story to start getting off the first page. That has not started yet. And then when we look at SpaceX gave us one day of hope on Wednesday where it closed above Tuesday's high. And then, sorry, that was Tuesday. Then Wednesday and Thursday, we did not continue that upward move. So one day does not make a trend, and I'm still looking for SpaceX to head down to $100. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. Again, it looks like we're going to have a higher open on Friday. We'll have to see how the day progresses. No major economic numbers coming out in the pre-market this morning. You have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back on Sunday if you're a member. Otherwise, I will not be back on Monday morning. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Tuesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.